They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon it.
Start y'all with the wrong intro and whatever, but you're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm your guy, Wole. You can also check us out at www.urbansportscene.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, man, please go to our YouTube channel, the Urban Sports Scene. Hit that red subscribe button. Also, like this video. If you're on there right now, do it right now. Hit that red subscribe button. Also, like this video. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene. I like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, let's get into our tradition. The pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Host of Locked on Wizards podcast, Brandon Scott, will join me to recap the Washington Wizards season. All right, let me introduce the homie Brandon. What is going on, B? What's good, bro?
What's good? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Other than like starting off with the Commanders, you know what I'm saying? The Commanders podcast stuff that I had it in the queue, and I forgot to make the switch. But it is what it is, man. I got my guy Brandon on, B on. That's my guy. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? B has done a great job covering this team throughout the year. Locked on Wizards podcast is one of the best podcasts for Wizards information, period. Going, I would say the best. Let me keep the being the best Wizards podcast out there. You know what I mean? And B leads the charge with it, man. He leads the charge with it. So, B, how excited were you with this season in terms of what you saw with the Wizards?
Very excited because you knew coming into the season that it wasn't going to be about wins and losses. It's about progression of young talent, man. And you saw the full display. You saw it for all three levels, from coaching, from the players, from the front office. From the players, you saw, Bilal really start to come in his own offensively. Still raw, but, year 3, he's going to have that breakout. Tristan Vucevic, second-round pick, producing at a high level. Alex Sarr, he's in the conversation Rookie of the Year. Bub Carrington, dog. Keyshawn George, dog. A.J. Johnson, Kobe Jones. you got the vets. You got JP13. The future's bright, man.
So you mentioned that. Do you think do you think Alex Sarr has a chance to be Rookie of the Year? That's kind of dope for him. It's credit to him for all the negative press and flack he got for summer league, and folks were like, he ain't going to be it. Now to a point where he has an opportunity to be Rookie of the Year. Like, do you think he has a chance?
Oh, absolutely, because he's gotten better every week, man. I thought it was crazy that people were ready to call this man a bust after 5.
They were.
He has gotten better every single week, man. And like I said, he's far from being a finished product. But you see the potential once he figures it out on a consistent basis offensively. Come on now. He's definitely in the conversation. You can definitely give a leg up to Stephon Castle, man, because really picking up the slack with Wemby being out. A lot of people were knocking him for with his shot in the draft, and
I was.
He's shooting lights out, man. He's been playing good basketball, so he's definitely in the conversation. You had Jalen Wells, where unfortunately he got hurt. But I think the biggest emphasis is a lot of people were saying this was a weak draft. Well, it doesn't appear to be a weak draft, because when you look at it from the lens, the perspective of the Washington Wizards front office, okay, call it a weak draft. Fair enough. You got 3. Will Dawkins got 3 guys. High impact rookies out of this class. And then when you add A.J. Johnson, that's 4 first-round picks and a quote-unquote weak draft. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Wizards kind of, Will Dawkins has done great work. And I feel like regardless of, the record, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, I think this team has a lot of young talent that, that they can do some things with. So, like a little bit of it, obviously, the Wizards finished the season 18-64, second worst record in the NBA. But in terms of your grade, how would you assess overall this season for the Washington Wizards? How would you assess it if you had to put like a description on the season?
I would say small victories, man. You got to look at the small victories. Obviously, at first glance, it's like, all right, they only won 18 games, but then We won 15 last year. So in the first 3 years of a rebuild, you want to see small progression, small victories, solidifying culture. I was at the exit interviews today with the team, man. And from the head coach to every player, veteran to young guy alike, everybody's raving about the culture, the locker room. They want to show up. They want to get better. They want to play with each other. These vets, man, are teaching these young guys how to be a professional on and off the court, how to, conditioning. The front office and organization, they're doing things behind the scenes like improved weight training, better food in the facilities, man, better facilities. This organization is checking all the boxes, and they're doing things that they haven't done before. I mean, when you look at the front office, they're hitting in draft picks. Ernie Grunfeld could not hit on draft picks to save that man's life. And now 2 drafts, and he's already hit on every single pick. He's already proven that he's, a competent general manager, man. And then when you add in Michael Winger and Travis Schlenk, we've got a lot of great minds in this front office, man. The coaching staff, revamped scouting department. I mean, you look at the players, you look at the young foundation, you fit the mold of the modern day, how you construct the modern day NBA team, which is versatile. They can play and defend multiple positions. They can stretch the floor. All 5 draft picks are defensive-minded players. They're trying to build a defensive system here and a defensive identity. So just give it time, man, because they're doing all the right things.
Yeah, I think hold on. Let me put before I say, here we go. My man George has comments. Oh yes, that terrible season is over now. It's all about a lot of success at Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey in the red, white, and blue next year. Who's the guy? Who out of those? I mean, obviously you want Cooper Flagg. I'm not going to. But how would Ace Bailey fit? I mean, we're going to talk about Cooper Flagg later. How would Ace Bailey fit?
Well, Ace Bailey is compelling, man. You see the potential scoring wise, man. Now, we were talking about before the broadcast, man. Rutgers. You kind of expect better performance from both him and Dylan Harper. You want to see some dominance in the college ranks, man.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
When looking at Ace Bailey, on one hand, you see a pure scorer. You see a guy who's definitely gonna get his buckets in, a walking microwave score, man. But takes a lot of tough shots, and you don't see that separation you want to see from him, especially when he penetrates the paint. But here's the thing, though, man. 6'10", walking bucket, it's a rebuild. We can mold this kid, man. We can mold him where he wants to be. So, any prospect in his draft is not a finished product. So you're going to have to mold and develop them. Even Cooper Flagg. He's still young, 18 years old. You're going to have to mold this kid. I mean, he's not going to come out the box ready to win the championship. So I think the biggest emphasis is this, man. Not so much the prospect. I mean, you can look at the top 10, top 15 and say, this guy fits, this guy doesn't. But the biggest emphasis to look at is the front office, because I got confidence in front office that they're going to be able to build this team, whether it's Cooper Flagg or whether it's Trey Johnson. They're going to find the best prospect who's going to come into this system and thrive, man. So this is a loaded draft. This is one of the best drafts I've seen in a long time. And then 2026, another loaded draft, man. So, I mean, you got to trust your front office. Look, if you look at the percentages, we got a 14% chance to get that top overall pick. We got a 27.5% chance to get the 5th pick. So you got a better likelihood to get that 5th pick than you do get the top pick. So you need to, you can hope for the top pick, but you plan for the 5th pick. And there's still a high impact rookie at that 5th pick.
Yeah, we'll talk about that either too. We'll talk about that pick because I feel like it'd be something for the city to get a particular player. Obviously, George also they were doing memes on Alex Starr during some of these facts. They were. Todd's what's up? Todd said, "Go Wizards. Let Dawkins cook." Dawkins has been cooking. He has been cooking. George said, "It seems like a small thing, but look at the way the team reacted to Bub Carrington's game winner in the season finale. You don't have that for the 15th win of a bad season. If the locker room locker room is bad. So I mean, So I just feel like that the way the team responded to that was kind of dope.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said today, from talking to every player, man. I mean, these veterans like these young guys. Okay. I mean, they check all the boxes. Their work ethic. They show up. They want to get better, man. And that's what I'm saying. It's all the small things. If you could really use one phrase, it's small victories, because they're doing all of the small things behind the scenes. Because look, I mean, Keyshawn George, we got him where 24th overall pick. Tommy Shepard, Ernie Grunfeld ain't grabbing them at 24th, man. I mean, that shows you just how good this front office is. I mean, we were able to grab him at 24th overall, and he's a two-way stud. Bub Carrington, 14th overall. And if you look at the Denny trade, I get it was the most popular trade, but look.
You hated that trade.
Hey, man, I hated it, but in the same token, though, same token, I hated it. But here's the thing, man. What separates your average GM from your Sam Presties? You got to make those risky moves, man. You got to make the unpopular moves.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have to subtract the ad. And it's kind of like James Harden in OKC. Look, I mean, in hindsight, those three together, I mean, come on. Yeah. But you had to give a little to get a little. And, you know, Denny, he's striving, but Bub, he's doing his thing, man. I mean, I think the biggest thing that people need to look at when it comes to Bub is that take a look at what he did before that last shot. He got in the huddle, he rallied everybody together, and he pretty much took over the whole situation. This kid's a rookie. Yeah. Like, you see leadership out of a guy who's a rookie, played 1 year at Pittsburgh, and he's already showing what he can do as a leader, not only as a player, but as a leader, man. And it goes to the point where when you look at what traits they're looking at in the draft, it's not so much just, you know, athleticism and your skill set. Yeah, that's important. It's character. Are these guys coachable? Do they want to show up and get better? I mean, a lot of young guys come in the league, man, they just want the paycheck, or they stick on their athleticism and they don't get better. Ben Simmons, man, athleticism through the roof, but he did not want to get better. And after a while, he couldn't stay with the mold of the modern day NBA where you need to have a jump shot. You evolve or die. That's the business model. Evolve or die. That's it. You have to evolve. So you see that, man.
And you just gotta love it. Like, I think Bub loves it, and that's why he played all 82 games this year. He loves it. You know what I mean? That's a good culture. Like, that's a good culture guy. Like, that's what you drafted They drafted a very good culture guy. Ray, what's up, homie? He said, Wiz want to duplicate what Detroit did this season. True. Not sure Dylan Harper is the correct guy for the culture, Ace or Cooper. I think Dylan Harper is like that. Honestly.
Absolutely. And you know what? I wouldn't pencil him out. I'm gonna tell you why. Because look, there's scenarios you gotta look at, man. Look at the next 2 years. Jordan Poole's got 2 years left. After his contract expires, Bilal's the first guy up for an extension. Now, you've got 5 draft picks that are gonna be looking to be re-signed in the next 2 to 3 years. After that, you still got 4 first-round picks, and then the next couple of drafts. You're not gonna be able to pay everybody. And that's why I'm saying you're still in evaluation mode right now, because this young core is nice. But not every young guy you see right now is going to be in the Wizards uniform in the next 2 to 3 years. So that's just what it is. You can't pay everybody, man. So sometimes you got to look down the road and look, man. Dylan Harper, I like Dylan Harper. I like Jordan Poole, but I'm just saying, like Jordan Poole, the better he plays, there's going to be teams that are going to be calling about him. Last year, Denver Nuggets were calling about him. So Dylan Harper, you know, he reminds me a lot of Cade Cunningham, man. So you see that comparison with the Detroit Pistons, where last year they were bad. This year they're in the money, man. So it shows you when you have all the right things behind the scenes, you could take a team like Detroit Pistons last year and build them into a playoff team.
And I was I was one of the folks who wasn't a believer in Cade Cunningham, and look at him.
Oh yeah,
look at him. I wasn't a believer. I was like, I don't like his game. It's slow to me. It's not overly athletic to me. And I was wrong. That man just knows basketball, and man, he one of them. So if Dylan, like you said, I think Dylan Harper has like a similar set skill set, and also, I mean, he's been groomed for this, man. Like, his pops was one of the was a really good NBA player. His older brother was more of a hard worker, but this kid's been talked about for a while. Like, typically the younger one is the one. Like, typically that's the one. You know what I mean? So I do think that, you know, regardless of what I was talking about, I wanted to see more from him and Ace Bailey. Be for real with you. I'm not going to throw. And I said this before. I'm not taking Ace. I'm not saving Ace Bailey out of this either. Like, you both were on the same team at Rutgers, and you sucked. Like, your team sucked. That's the problem. I'm sorry, because every top freshman we've ever thought about in life, typically they carry their team to the tournament. I'm not even saying to win the championship, win it all, or be awesome in the tournament. They carry their teams to the tournament. Every dude that you think that was like the one and done, Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, all them dudes that you think of, they carried their team. John Wall, those dudes carry their teams in the tournament. Bailey and Harper did not. That is scary, period. And I like Harper, and I like a little bit of what I saw of Bailey. I'm not going to act like I'm all in love with Bailey, but that's scary in its own right. I'm going to be real with you. So, I mean, I feel like if you can't, we can blame coaches, but hey, look, man, I've seen bad coaches take team, like when you got supreme talent like that, you can take a team to the tournament when you got supreme talent. That's all I'm saying. If you got 2 lottery picks, coaching could be as bad as you want to be. 2, you should be all right. You shouldn't be that bad.
Oh yeah,
you shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah,
I'm not saying obviously coaching wasn't great, but you don't have to be that. You can't look, man, sometimes when you have talent like that, you got to be that's two. There's two, bro.
Oh, yeah.
There's two. That says a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree 100, man. I mean, you kind of want to see some dominance at that level. And that's what I'm saying. Look, you don't know really how to judge these guys till the NCAA tournament when the lights are brightest, man. Because, I mean, look at Bilal. We didn't know who the brother was till we saw him play with Wemby, and then we started to see what he can do. So a lot of these guys come from a lot of these smaller schools, a lot of these conferences that don't get a lot of hype. You know, your first time you've seen them play is at the NCAA tournament. So that's what I'm saying, man. This draft is loaded, man. I mean, you cannot lose in this draft.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I know my man said like Duke had. Look, man, I get talent, man. Steph, you see his team that Steph Curry had around him when he was. I'm not saying he wasn't highly touted coming out going to Davidson. If you watch the team that Steph Curry had around him, that team wasn't talented at all. So I'm just saying, like, it was just him. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying he didn't have the talent that Duke. They didn't have the talent that Duke has all around him. But you could if you them dudes, you could at least get to the tournament. So I ain't saying win it all, get to the tournament. Dude, I'm gonna give you an old school one. Go look up Wally Zerbiak's team in Miami, Ohio.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Go look up that team and come back to me and tell me what's what. Tell me what's what.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that team, and that team. He took that team to the tournament and won a tournament game.
John Morant, Murray State.
John Morant, Murray State. Zach, good point. So I'm just saying, when you're that talented, I think I'm not saying Bailey won't be good. I'm just saying, typically, when we're talking about those type of dudes, they can carry their team to a tournament. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying like they got to be the top seed. They can be a 9 seed, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Derrick Rose. I mean, come on. I'm just saying. All right, so let's get to let's talk about some Wizards. We talking about y'all got me talking about the draft or whatever. All right, the Wizards acquired AJ Johnson in the Kyle Kuzma deal. AJ Johnson averaged about 9 points with the Wizards, but he showed a lot of promise. We talked about it, showed a lot of promise. Do you feel like the Wizards fleeced the Bucks in that deal?
Oh Lord, yes. It was not even fair, man. I mean, to me, the centerpiece of the trade was AJ Johnson. Nothing against Chris Middleton, man. Like I said, Chris is a baller. He still has some gas left in the tank. But AJ Johnson, I told people the day of the trade deadline, keep your eye on AJ Johnson, man, and keep your eye on Kobe Jones, because they were the center. They were the players that Will Dawkins was going after, man. And look, Doc Rivers said, look, they were very hesitant to let go of AJ Johnson. They didn't want to let him go, man, because this kid is a diamond in the rough. You see it. Look, he played 48 minutes all season for the Bucks. He came in, he putting brothers on posters, man. I mean, it didn't take long for him to show what he can do. The speed, the explosiveness, man, the athleticism. I mean, he's got it. And he was an afterthought in Milwaukee. That tells you scouting, how important scouting is, because Will Dawkins saw what he can do. Kobe Jones playing for the Stockton Kings in the G League. Now he's a 3-level scorer in DC, man. That's how powerful and important scouting is, man. That's what we've been missing for a long time, is that we had never had real scouting in place here in DC. I got to go out there. The scouts go out there and actually find these diamonds in the rough. You know, it's like I said, I always say about Ernie, man, it was easy to go get John Wall and Bradley Beal, because in those drafts, who else you going to get? Like, you don't get points for that. True. I mean, to go out there and the GM that got Giannis gets points, because nobody knew that Giannis was going to be that guy, man. And he was able to find this guy in the later stages of the first round, and now look at him. I'm just saying, like, Jokic. The GM that went out there and got him with a 2nd-round pick. I'm just saying, that's scouting, man.
That's scouting.
Yeah, absolutely.
My man Paul said, Paul's asking who the coach of the Wizards is. Keith. Brian Keith.
Yeah, easy. Oh, yeah, they bought in, man.
He said, coach, man. He said, because Bud is out. Now they're gonna keep with Keith. Keith is good. He's a good teacher for a young dude. For this roster, he's perfect for this roster, because he's a teacher. Bud is not. Bud wouldn't be good with this roster.
No, I mean, look, these players are bought in, man. These players love BK. I'm saying right now, he has set a standard. He's held them to that standard. And you have an environment come on now. 2-3 years ago, we had Davis Bertans trying to fight the tunnel. Now, you got a locker room where people love each other and they're trying to play with each other and get better, man. Like, that's what you want. I mean, you had Davis Bertans, KCP out there boxing it out, man. Like, you don't see that anymore, man. You see a locker room where guys want to show up and work, man. So it's progress. I mean, you can't forget that this is his first full season as an NBA head coach. I mean, he was an assistant for so long, man. So he's still, and that's the question I asked him today. I said, what are some of the lessons you learned from your first year as a head coach? He said, look, I'm still learning. This is a process we're all learning, man. So, Will Dawkins, he's a first-time NBA GM.
He's doing a great job, man. He's doing a great
doing an
job.
immaculate job. So everybody's learning, man. This is an
Mhm.
environment where everybody's at the same step and we're in their development. Everybody's still trying to figure out who they are, man. So
we'll get. You know what? I'm willing to get to that question, Paul. I'm gonna say that question because it's part of. It's not. I'm not trying to trade Jordan Poole. I do want to get to that. I do have like no. As much as folks know, I'm not like the biggest Jordan Poole supporter in the world, but also I'm like, but I do acknowledge growth. Like so, Jordan. So Jordan Poole has has grown. I mean, to me, has shown a lot of growth this season. The kid is averaging about 20 points a game. Do you feel like Jordan Poole is the guy that can lead this young team next season to the postseason? He's a guy that can lead the young team, or is he a guy that should be like a secondary fiddle? Like a secondary player? Do you feel like looking at Poole and his growth, he can be the guy to lead this young nucleus?
I'll say this, man. He can lead this team next year towards a plan, and he can be a complimentary star for that one big star you want to make. I mean, look, he's bought in. He's taking on a really huge leadership role here in DC. The young guys are thriving under him, But on the flip side of that coin, he's willing to learn too. Like you see Chris Middleton working with him, Marcus Smart's working with him, Malcolm Brogdon's been working with him. So not only is he a leader, he's even he's leading by example by being willing to listen and to learn under these guys who've been in the league a lot longer. So he could definitely lead his team now to a championship. Jordan Poole's a guy where he could definitely be a complimentary star. Being a guy, not yet. But once you get into year 4 or 5 of this rebuild, man, because that's where all these draft picks and these late draft picks matter, man. When you want to go out there and get that Donovan Mitchell type move, that's where you get that guy who's going to lead this team. And when you combine that to the guy we're going to get in this draft coming up and Jordan Poole, you're going to have there's going to be a young, dangerous team, man. So Jordan Poole, like I said, with a team where we're at now, absolutely can lead this team. But when it comes to a championship, he could definitely be in the mix, man. Not is the guy, but definitely a complimentary piece.
Do you feel like he can lead to like just a postseason? Can he lead this young team to post? So he thinks that okay. He thinks he's capable of doing that. Okay.
Absolutely.
My man, what's up, Tom? He said nailed it. Best locker room here in years.
Yes, sir.
It definitely is. I feel like this locker room is good, though. I feel like these guys they root for each other. I feel like once they made the trade once they traded away Kyle Kuzma, I think you kind of saw that, right? Yeah, and you've been covering it, and you've been there. You've been covering the team consistently. I know I've kind of slacked, but you've been there covering it consistently. But you see it like they seem more together since the Kyle Kuzma trade, right?
Oh, absolutely. This locker room. Everybody's connected. That's one of the key phrases I got today at the exit interviews is there's a connection. Yeah. Like there's good habits being made, man. Like, on and off the court. They're teaching these guys how to conduct themselves off the court. Because you look at guys like Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart, man, they've been around for a minute. So, they know the ins and outs of not only how to conduct yourself on the court, but off the court too. So yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, this locker room is the best I've seen in a long time, in a very long time, because these guys enjoy being here. I mean, you can't say that the last 3 years. Yeah. Guys didn't even want to come to work. Now guys do want to come to work. And everybody's responsible for that. The players are responsible for that. The coaching staff is responsible for that. The ownership, the general manager's office is responsible for that. Everybody's come together and they're actually conducting themselves as a cohesive unit. It's not a bunch of guys just looking at what they can do for their own career. They're acting as a unit, and you haven't seen that in DC in a long time, man.
That is dope. All right, so Paul said, "What can you get for Jordan Poole?" No joke. I'm not joking.
Two first-round picks.
You didn't get 2 first-round picks for Jordan Poole?
Absolutely.
For what team?
I mean, it's going to depend, man. You could probably get a clear.
Not a lottery type of player.
No, it was.
Oh, you mean late? You mean late, right?
Oh yeah, I mean you ain't getting a lot of picks, but
okay.
But a team that needs that 6 man. Look, he was a 6 man on the championship team. A guy who can definitely, a guy who, if need be in an event of injury, could come in and start. Like when Golden State, he fulfilled that role perfectly, being that microwave scorer off the second unit. So to me, that's what I envision him on a championship team. Which is
I got you. I know what you're saying. You're saying on a championship, like it would have to be a championship caliber team.
Oh, yeah.
Got you. Okay. I got you saying now. You're saying on a championship caliber team, because they typically would give up more. Because if Kuzma was going to get because Kuzma, Dallas going to offer would give how much for Kuzma? Was it 2 first rounders?
Yeah, it was 2 first rounders, but then they wanted us to take on Grant Williams' contract. So I think they were hesitant to take on that money.
But they did. They were willing to offer 2 first rounders though.
Yeah, because I believe in the trade that it was PG Washington and it was Daniel Gafford. And they it was 1 first rounder each. So if you would have taken on Grant Williams' contract, we would have got both of those first rounders. So.
And he's younger too, so yeah, maybe you're right. I think yeah, you're probably right. Depending on the team, you're right, man. No, I'm gonna argue that 20. It does average 20 points a game too. You can't shortchange that. Yeah. You said nope. I think he said what said nope by Joe. Oh, when I said it, could he lead the team to a postseason? I think he said Jordan Poole. Nope. A lot of people have a bit. I mean, like a lot of folks are like me on Jordan Poole. I'm still trying to gauge Jordan Poole as a winner on a good. But I think you need the right locker room. But I do feel like, I mean, he has he definitely has a lot of freedom here. But I will give him his flowers though. He has matured over like this particular part of the second year compared to the first year here in DC. Alexander Wilson said Poole only has 2 years left. Does that make him an attractive trade piece? What do you think, Brandy? Does that make him an attractive
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And I'll go even further, man, that if we miss out on Cooper Flagg, we catch that second or third pick, and we're in a position to choose between Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, they're probably going to entertain him to move back into the lottery. Because that's been a whisper, man, that they want to move back into the lottery. Because if you can grab two guys at positions of need, like a Derek Queen, the power forward, and maybe I'm just saying, because think about it like this, man. We moved back into the previous draft, and it was considered a weak draft, and it still costs us Denny Avia. Yeah. To move back into this draft, it's going to cost you, and it's going to cost you Corey Kispert, Jordan Poole, and it costs you a pick, because this is a loaded draft, man. Teams are going to be very hesitant to give up draft capital in this draft. So if they indeed want to move back into the lottery, it's going to cost them to do so, and it's going to cost them Corey Kispert and/or Jordan Poole to do so.
I like that. All right, so I like this one from Todd. He says, I think Poole has played himself into a position that he will be a tremendous asset to this team, and Dawkins either way, trade or keeping. I kind of think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too. I definitely think so too. I can see Taj also says I can see a Detroit or Houston next year if they have another great season. Definitely an attractive candidate at next year's trading deadline. Ooh, get traded to Detroit or Houston. I mean, definitely Detroit. He played in Michigan. I can see Detroit. There's some ties. I can see
Milwaukee.
There. That too. He's from Milwaukee. Yeah. Definitely can see that too. You and him and Kuz back together? Is that a thing?
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
I don't know, man.
It's going to have to be Detroit.
Yeah, it's going to be Detroit. I don't know. What's up, Jeremy? Said Poole is a piece, not the centerpiece of a franchise. Yeah,
I agree.
I agree with that. I agree.
With
that. I feel like Ace and Harper are too good to trade down. I mean, we'll see. I think I like both. I just want to see them. I just want to know what they can do. I mean, I just want to know what they can do in the NBA. It's different.
Yeah.
Because again, when you don't carry your team for wins, you know what I mean? It's like that argument about anything in basketball. We call it empty stats, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, it's cool, but are you putting up winning buckets? Like, are you really? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, that's the thing. All right, let's get into what everybody wants to talk about. Everybody's going or is already gravitating Cooper Flagg anyway. I swear to God. All right, so the Wizards, have a great chance of obtaining Cooper Flagg and other draft picks. When we're talking about Cooper Flagg, that's what the people want. The people want Cooper Flagg. All right, I've seen it all over social media ever since the NCAA tournament hit. Folks have been talking Wizard fans, Cooper Flagg. All right, so I'm gonna ask you. This is the first thing. If the Wizards were to get Cooper Flagg, if they were lucky to kick Cooper Flagg with this young nucleus that we were talking about, with Bilal, George, Sarr, AJ Johnson, whom I forget, Bug, Poole, with this young nucleus, if they get a Cooper Flagg, does that automatically, in your opinion, catapult them to a playoff to a postseason contender?
Play-in, AC, yes. Championship, no. I think there's still
not championship, just postseason, not championship. Just postseason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Because he's that generational talent, and when you add that talent on the existing foundation and the veterans and the gray area players like Sadiq Bey, Jordan Poole, Corey Kispert.
Oh, I forgot Sadiq Bey. Yeah, he's gonna be back next year, right?
Yeah, man. Back. I mean, there's a lot of depth in this team. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, you add Cooper Flagg, all you need is that major move after that, man, and that's it. We will be probably one of the most young and dangerous squads in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion.
Oh, here you go. Jeremy said, if the Wizards get Cooper Flagg, does he instantly become the best white boy to ever play for the team? Hey, man, all right, you know what? They've had. All right, so I'm old. I'm gonna age myself. All right, I'm gonna name the dopest white dudes that play for the Wizards. All right, there's Rex Chapman. All right, Tom Gugliotta was like that here.
Yeah.
Tom Gugliotta was like that.
Tim Legler.
Tim Legler was like a role. Brett Price. They had Mark Price.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm missing somebody too. Like a true white player, not overseas, like a true white player. Don McClain was good when he was here.
Yeah.
But the best white player here to play for the Wizards would probably be Tom Gugliotta. Scott Skiles was good.
You don't forget Christian Laettner.
No, but Tom Gugliotta was like an all-star caliber player. Chris Laettner was an all-star player.
You're right. Yeah,
he was a role player here. But the best, Tom Gugliotta was like that. He was like that. Rex Chapman was like that too. Let me not, hands down, Tom Gugliotta. Yeah, hands down, like Tom Gugliotta. But Rex Chapman was, Plus, he got his Weber. Then he got him Weber in the trade. He was that good. They got him. It got him Chris Weber in the trade. Yeah, he was doing. Was doing X when he was here. Jordan, Christian was, I'm a Christian. I support Christian with Christian Lane. Don was on steroids, was he? Don McClain was on steroids.
It's all coming out tonight, man. Look,
you said Price. Nah, you ain't like Brett or Mark Price. We had Brett Price. But didn't Mark Price come here too? I know we had Brett Price for a fact. I feel like Mark Price came here too. I could be wrong though. I thought he did come here. He just got injured all the time. Scott Skiles was definitely he was cool.
He was
Scott
good
Skiles was good too. He was good. Kevin. See, I don't know it. George, I want to lie to you. I don't know who that is.
I couldn't tell you, brother.
That one I don't know. That's probably before my time. I had no cable. I watched a bunch of Bullets games, and that sucks for me. You know what I mean? So when I got to see Magic Johnson the first time, I was blessed. Yeah, he can't. Yeah, I knew I was right. Mark Price, I know he did. Yeah, Mark Price, played like one game. He always get hurt. He used to always get hurt. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know I wasn't tripping, but Tom Gugliotta by far. So to answer your question, that was a good one though. That was 1970. No wonder you naming dudes on 1970. I ain't watching no Wizards.
Yeah, we going way
George,
back.
You going to championship team? I don't got look, George. I was born 1981. I can't what. What are we doing here, George? What are we doing here? Yeah, Cooper Flagg would. Kevin was the shooting guard. Yeah, was the shooting guard. Oh, that's awesome, man. I ain't never see Kevin play, so I only go to people I've seen play. People I see play. My bad. My dad loved. Okay, all right. Sure, I'm sure it was like that. I'm sure it was like that, George. But Cooper Flagg would be the best. Would be. I will guard. He would be the best white man. Cooper Flagg might be the best white boy in the best white boy list of basketball players ever. That's how much I love it. That's how much I like Cooper Flagg. That's how much
I don't know, man. Larry Bird.
No, I said on the list. I ain't say he's the best white boy. Larry the best.
Something about that.
Larry the best white boy ever. I don't care. You can make any argument, folks, you want. He's the best white boy ever in life. Like Larry is on my I feel like Larry gets shortchanged just in terms of GOAT talk. Like I think people forget how dominant that dude was for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a savage.
How athletic he was, man. He was. Yeah.
He was he was a savage. Like in terms of we talk about Mamba mentality or killers, he was a killer in every stretch of the imagination. Like he was a killer. But Cooper Flagg. I would say if they get Cooper Flagg, depending on. All right, let me put it this way because we're about to end the show too. Let me put it this way. Is Jordan Poole the right person to play with a Cooper Flagg? Because I'm gonna use this analogy. I'm gonna use this analogy for maybe real talk. There's a reason why when LeBron got to Cleveland, Ricky Davis eventually got traded. Yeah, because he wasn't trying to give him the keys and say, "All right, you dude, this is your team." Like Ricky Davis, you're a young boy. I don't care about you. I'm gonna get my numbers because Ricky Davis the year before was averaging 25, 30 or something, like 25 points a game, something like that. So is Jordan Poole the right person to be with a Cooper Flagg?
Yes. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. Last year, up and down season, a lot of questions of whether he could be that type of guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What impressed me was this, and I've even told him this in an interview, man. What impressed me was this: when he struggled, when he caught so much flack from almost every sports network around the world, not the country.
Yeah.
He could have been in his feelings.
Yeah.
He put his nose down. He worked and he worked and he worked. When he reverted that to 6-man role, he flourished. When he took starting point guard position, when the ties went down, he flourished and he held on to it. I mean, that's the part of it that I've been impressed with, man, is that behind the scenes. Because there's a lot of players, man, where they get in their feelings and, they're not the same guy. He has shown that he's got the temperament to be that guy and yet also be a complimentary piece. So I think he'd be all right.
I mean, only thing He said, like, I think he's changed from this person. Like, I know what you're saying, Paul. Like, that is why Poole left Golden State. I'm not sure to say that. I think that his personality is better. I'm not sure because I think you have to be a special. You got to really defer, like, because Cooper Flagg, what he's supposed to be, you got to truly defer. You got to be all in on Cooper Flagg. Like, you got to kind of subdue your own confidence to a certain extent if you want the whole team and want him to grow, because he's going to be the franchise player, right? So I'm not sure if he's. There's no knock on him. A lot of players aren't capable. So when I say this, a lot of players aren't capable of doing this. So this is not a knock on him. I'm not sure he is capable of doing it because he's still young and he came to DC to showcase his own talent, his own bag, right? When you get Cooper Flagg, that is, and I think Todd said this here, and I do agree with this. Let's state the obvious. Flagg could be the franchise what a young OV was to the Caps or Jaden Daniels to the Commanders. You're not going to have, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Marcus Mariota has subdued himself for Jaden Daniels. You get my point?
I mean, he ain't no choice, brother.
No. But you don't know. No. That's
I got you.
That's my point. That's my point. Like Marcus Mariota did, like, all right, when he had that good game, right, against the Panthers, you ain't hear nothing about, oh man, like I want to start or anything like that. It was like, this is Jaden's team.
But I'll say this too, though, dog. I'll say this: leadership by example matters.
It does.
One thing he carried over from Golden State is this. You know, Klay Thompson said it. Stephen Curry said it. He's the first man in the building, last man out. What I heard today, not only from the young guys, Chris Middleton told me, Marcus Smart told me that, you know, they've been impressed with the fact that he stays working. He's the first guy in the gym, last guy out. That's what a guy like Cooper Flagg needs to see, man. Yeah. He needs to see the type of work ethic, man. Yeah. Brian Keefe said it, that he's gotten phone calls and text messages from Jordan Poole saying, hey, can I get access to the gym early? Let me get in there and get some work in. So I would understand why people would be skeptics, but looking at certain things behind the scenes, a guy like Cooper Flagg needs somebody to have that example, to be that first guy in, because that's what separates you from being, drafted as a guy and being the guy. Is that work ethic, man? Look at MJ. I mean, look, they couldn't get past Detroit. What did they do? They didn't go to the vacation next year. They went to the gym. They went to the gym. You know, they went to work, and he led by example. You can say whatever you want about MJ, man, but he was the type of guy where he set the standard of intensity. So they had no choice but to follow his lead because he set the standard. So I can understand why people are skeptics when it comes to JP13, but like I said, to me, it's the small things. Work ethic, how you carry yourself. Are you coachable? You know what I mean? So,
but I mean, I'll say this too, because I do agree with you. I've said this is the reason why, he's a guy who was, Jordan Poole, the reason why he's gotten to this point was because of hard work. Because he wasn't supposed to be, like, if you look at, where he was drafted at, he was a G leaguer to get to where he is today. So he's hard. He's nothing but hard work. I'll never take that away from Jordan Poole, to be real. I'll never take his work ethic away from him ever in life. But I will say this about Jordan, about that, like, it's either, like, I don't know Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg may already have that mentality. He may not need a Jordan Poole for that, about that work ethic. Like, he may already have it. You know what I mean? Because if you read up on him, he the dude that, all right, I was in Maine. Nah, that's not good enough. I want to play against the best. He went to another, like, you know what I mean? You could make the argument that he already has that mentality. He already has it. Like, I want to test myself against the best. You know what I mean? Like, so you can, it just depends. To your point, if I do agree that Jordan Poole having, like, in terms of work ethic, it's definitely a positive for Cooper Flagg. Todd said, I think Poole can play with Flagg because so much of Flagg's game is not about scoring. It's true. A lot of his game is all around game, hustle, defense, play at 100 all game. Yeah, he does play, but he's. I mean, you saw what he did Bradley Beal on that one-on-one thing. So y'all know.
Oh Lord,
that's it. Just saying, he can do one-on-one too. A high schooler dogging an NBA player is nasty work. It's nasty work. I don't care what. That's nasty work. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you think he's a bad defender. That's just nasty work. All right. Hey, man, this has been a great show. Before we end it out, man, let folks know how they can catch you on social media, and also check out your great podcast.
Yes, sir. You can catch me over there at Locked On Wizards, man. We do a podcast every day of the week, man, so definitely check us out for that. I'm on X at Locked On Wizards, so definitely check me out on X, man. I actually write for SI, man, so definitely check me out. I put articles out every day on Sports Illustrated, so definitely check me out on Sports Illustrated Inside the Wizards, man. So trying to do big things, man. I'm trying, but
you are. Stop saying trying. You are doing big things. You are. Hey, before we also let me make sure I do some reads before we end the show. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, hit us up on YouTube. Hit that rate, subscribe button. Also, like this video. Go to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. Do that. Also, go to the Locked On Wizards podcast. Hit that red subscribe button. Also, like the video. Like all the videos because it's great for Wizards content, the Wizards algorithm. So when you're on Locked On Wizards podcast, like it, comment. Great. Again, it is great for the algorithm. Over here for the Urban Sports Scene, like this video. Also, subscribe. Subscribe. All right. Subscribe again. Also, follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG at Urban Sports Scene, and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene. Also, like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. All right, man. This has been a great show. Appreciate B for being on, man. Always. I wanted to talk Wizards. I hit him up. He was like, yeah, let's do it. Boom. We made it happen, man. So appreciate B as always. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Yeti deuces. We are out.
Peace.